This video contains information that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are a viewer and are triggered or shocked by images and need a warning prior to every clip or story being discussed, then please unsubscribe from my channel immediately. My channel covers the harsh reality of even the worst crimes imaginable and is for adults only. For those of you who fit into this category, take this message as your warning and don't watch any further. I don't even have any way to see any of you guys right now. Hey, check it out. There's Blue, though. He's back in his seat. Okay, now I can see everybody. Oh, I got my hat back on today. See? Everything's back to normal now. But now at least I can not wear it sometimes and it won't make any difference. That's right. Yeah, so we were, I was wondering if I could get a hold of Shaila Thomas's mom. And, let's see. And then somebody gave me her Facebook page on YouTube, or my Gmail account, thank you. Hey, thank you, Andrea Rogero Drum. And then she just randomly emailed me, though. Because somebody had told her, probably one of you guys, told her that I was covering it. And then so she sent me an email. She didn't want to do a voice interview, I guess, at the time. I don't know, maybe in the future she will, or with somebody else, or whatever. But she did email me back. And for channel members that were Oogla Boogla Freaks and above, you got to see the conversation. I think it was Oogla Boogla Freak. I can't remember now. It might have been all channel members. And I put it on Patreon too. So it was communication. She was kind of going over things. But now I'll read it on the air. She sent a few extra emails too. She had a couple pieces of information that I couldn't put out there either. So just letting you know that there's more to it. But I will read it right now. It seems so quiet. Oh, and I interviewed one of Allison Watterson's friends again today. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's amazing how the effect that Allison had on all these different people. It's pretty cool. Makes it a story, you know, that's more tragic. Linda Howell, as in Linda Moldenhowell. Yeah, been busy. Okay, so I'm going to read this out loud here. Okay. She emailed me and said, we had planned a... You guys know the story, right? I don't really want to go back over it again. We've gone over it like 4 times on the show. You'll have to go back and watch. But the Shaila Thomas case, Shaila Thomas, we've been covering it now. This is, I think, the 4th day. It said, we had planned a camping trip with family. They were coming in from Idaho. We love camping. It's kind of, some of it's written leaving out words and so forth, but we love camping at Bernice, which is north of us. I guess we could go check out where that is. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Bernice, Montana. Oh, I see. So here's Butte, and then Bernice is just north. Okay. So we can just put plans for camping there. Hey, thanks, Katie and Rochelle Black up above. Thank you. It's weird how everything is just right off in a direct line like that. So if you remember, well, let me read through this thing because it's a little, it kind of explains things a little differently than we thought. I think. So, hold on. Okay. So, we had planned a camping trip with family. They were coming in from Idaho. We love camping at Bernice, which is north of us. She and Jackson, that's Shaila's kid, spent the night with us. And that's, she had that child with another person. So Thursday morning, she left, referring to Shaila, at around 9 or after, or 9 or after to go home. I don't know if it's 9 a.m. or p.m. Let's see. Shaila was supposed to work Thursday, so we left to go camping. Yeah, so it doesn't say what. So Thursday morning, she left around 9, so it must have been 9 a.m. She was supposed to work Thursday, so we left to go camping with her little boy. And then it said, our grandson, Jackson, and our little girl, Avery. So I think they're duplicating. Her little boy is Jackson. And it's also their grandson, but it's weird. I think what she's saying is her little boy and our grandson Jackson, and also our little girl Avery. All right. I'm just trying to get through this a little bit. Let's see. So she was supposed to work. Okay, and then they were going to go camping. The grandparents of Jackson, or Shaila's parents, were going to go camping, and they took Jackson, Jaxton, with them. With no cell service, we cannot communicate. I had communicated with her before leaving. She didn't know if she'd be up that night or morning. Alright, then it says, our little girl is special needs, and I needed to go into town, and what they're referring to the little girl named Avery in that case. So our little girl has special needs, and I needed to go into town Friday to gather treatment for her. I also was wondering why she wasn't at the campground yet, referring back to Shaila again, as it was close to 12. It was then my sister-in-law informed me Shaila mentioned she'd be coming out with our son, which is her brother. He is in the Army and had to sign papers for upcoming order. As we got closer to Butte, I reached out to my daughter, Shaila. I had asked her if she needed a ride. She stated no, and she will ride up with her brother, Todd. Oh, wait, her brother, and then it said her brother. It's just her brother. Forget the word Todd, okay? Told her, the word was told, not Todd. Told her we'd be in town in 5 minutes. Yes or no? She said no. Texted back, I love you, Mom. I said to her, why did she write that? It was out of context because we were in the middle of a conversation. You know, so that is kind of weird, right? It was just in the middle of a conversation. It isn't how she ever says it as well. By now, it's 3 p.m. and her brother messaged her and said to be ready by 2 p.m. I checked her apartment with a friend and my niece. Nobody had spoken with her or seen her. I started to panic because this isn't like her to do this to her baby, which is Jackson. Something's wrong. I had my niece put out a missing alert on Facebook. Jackson's bio dad, so the biological father of Shaila's son, his name is Dustin. He called and asked, "What's going on?" And we filled him in. A few minutes go by, and Dustin calls and says, "I see you," like he's driving by, and you can see them driving too. And he said, "Pull over." Some guy had just called Dustin's phone, stated that he found the phone in garbage can. Shaila's phone was already broken. She dropped it, and it was very hard to manipulate. She still used it. She took pictures, or videos and pictures, called, messaged, etc. Right then, I called the Butte Silver Bow Sheriffs, who then said, well, you need to call Dillon Sheriff since the phone was found there. So we headed towards Dillon, and I called the sheriff to report her missing. We were in town an hour before I thought something didn't seem right. Police met us at the town pump. That's that gas station. This phone was at a smaller gas station, so I'm not sure. But then I asked later, and she said, no, it was a town pump. So I'm not sure why that extra detail needed to be put in there. It kind of threw me off. This phone was at a smaller gas station. Forbidden path, really. Not sure what that means at all. Dillon isn't a huge town. They do have bigger gas stations on main route. Maybe that's girl code, you guys. Can you decipher that for me? Come on, you guys. You can do it. That might make sense to somebody else. It says this phone was at a smaller gas station. ... Forbidden path, really. What does that mean? Thanks, C. Dorton. Thank you. Nah, I don't know. Forbidden path? I don't think so. That doesn't sound right. It's just right in the middle of town, that gas station. Yeah, I don't know. Man, forbidden path. It's right down the middle of town, the gas station. Nah, it wasn't really in a shady area. It's just right in the middle of a small little town. I know you guys are good at deciphering, but none of that stuff makes any sense given what was written. All right. I'm literally just reading it, and I don't understand what that means. I don't think anybody would say, well, it's at a small gas station in that town. Forbidden Path, you know. Just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe it was voice to text or something like that. So it says, this phone was at a smaller gas station. Forbidden Path, really. I mean, you know, I showed it to you guys. It's just a regular gas station. There's nothing weird about it. It's just a small little town. Well, sometimes it is, though, just like that, Meredith McKenzie. And you guys are able to figure it out, and then you tell me, and I go, oh. Okay. Dillon isn't a huge town. They do have... Okay, so here it is. Dillon isn't a huge town. They do have bigger gas stations on the main route on the way to Dillon. Right. Kevin, Shy's dad, called Bryce once again. So, let's see. Yeah, so Kevin is Shaila's father. It almost feels like if this case keeps going, I'm going to have to make an org chart. Shy's dad called Bryce once again. He answered. Kevin questioned him as to where their daughter was. He claimed he hadn't seen her since Wednesday, which that was a lie because they were at Delmo Lake Thursday. She didn't go to work. Oh, weird. So she didn't go to work. See, that makes everything seem a little different. Okay, because Thursday, remember when she left her child with the mom, and they were going to go camping. She left Jackson with her mom, and then she was supposed to go to work. But instead, she went to a lake with Bryce, the boyfriend. So then it sort of seems like, I mean, wow, you left your kid in a safe place. He answered, he answered, questioned him as to where our daughter is. He claimed he hasn't seen her since Wednesday. We know that was a lie because they were at Delmo Lake Thursday. She didn't go to work. She was safe and under no duress. Once we arrived in Dillon, police met us there. We couldn't get a hold of the guy who had the phone. I did talk to him before arriving in Dillon, though. Internet is patchy through there, so we both had a hard time understanding. Waited hours, so we decided to leave since sheriff's office couldn't do much more. And then it says headed back, and 40 minutes of driving, the guy called back. So they were there waiting for the guy, and they got shit, and they drove away. And then 40 minutes after driving back home, the guy called back, and then they went and retrieved the phone. We couldn't gather much information on the phone. The rest is hearsay. We have not been informed of any new leads. She didn't mention apparently a search from Butte to Las Vegas, right? She doesn't mention that. We have not been informed of any new leads. We just want our daughter home safe and sound. Shaila, if you're listening, please know we're not mad. I know thou think that, but it is truthful. Know that we always love you, and no matter the choices, who couldn't? Your beautiful storm, a beacon of light. Every day it hurts more and more that we can't hear your voice or see you. Jackson misses you. He's not feeling good and needs his mommy snuggles. Please call either of you. And then she did write back a couple more things. It says, Shaila knows she has our love and trust. She trusts us more than anything with her son. Maybe she needed a mommy moment with all she's been dealing with. I have a feeling she's left willingly. she said, to do something spontaneous, but changed her mind, but wasn't allowed to come back. See, that actually sort of makes some sense there, doesn't it? Bryce is on felony probation. He wasn't to leave the county. That's what we were thinking the other day. Maybe they were going to hurry and come back, but I had already reported her missing. As a mom, my heart is sinking every day without hearing from her. Yeah, that makes total sense, doesn't it? So, you know, when Jackson was left with the mom, they thought, okay, hey, we can bust down to Las Vegas, maybe get married and come on back, and nobody would be the wiser. And then it turns out, though, they got nervous too really quick, called the police. Now he's got to be on the run because he's going to be busted for breaking his probation. Hey, thanks, Katie. And thank you, Christy Cunningham. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff that you know, and I think the mom's version right there makes a lot of sense. You know, she wanted to come back, but he wouldn't let her come back, maybe. And then the mom didn't know whether or not they were broken up or not. You know, she thought, well, they had broken up, but she didn't know if they got back together. So anyways, Bryce is on felony probation. He wasn't to leave the county. Maybe they were going to hurry and come back, but I had already reported her missing. As a mom, my heart is sinking every day without hearing from her, as is her baby, family, and friends. I know she wouldn't just have thrown her phone away. See, this is the other part here. Well, here's the thing, though. If she left willingly, and then they were just going to leave and then come back, then why was the phone thrown away so early? You know, that would have been something that would have been... Because at that time, they could have just came right back, even 8-9 hours later, right? So why was the phone thrown away so early in all this? See, that makes it a little bit more sort of ominous, right? What are you talking about, Brittany? Man, I have no idea what you just wrote there. Yeah, she got a hold of the guy. They got it. Oh, yeah? Let me turn... There's no sound. Oh, yeah, there's no sound on the... I did? Oh, whoa. Holy crap. Hey, Alifair M. I didn't see that one. Gray, you're the only person I will interrupt watching Unsolved Mysteries for. You know what's funny is I saw that comment, but it didn't show up as anything. That's so weird on my end. Oh, I guess there it is. At first it showed up without saying that. All right, well, I don't know why I did make the sound, but it would have made the cat eye music. So thank you very much, Alifair. Now I feel like an idiot because it didn't even warn me that something was on the screen. Anyways, thank you so much. That's already going to add a big chunk at the end of the month. Wish I had that music to play. Shoot, I wonder why that didn't work. Oh, weird, it said something right there. There's an error in the... Here, let me try this again. Oh, there you go. Shoot. It said, failed to send message. So maybe it'll work now. I just... Send it again. I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's test it out, okay? Now, if you just send it in again, we'll see if the... let's see. Yeah, it'd be cool to just see what was on the text message. Yeah, I just signed in to... Does it not work still? Maybe type in... Well, Oogla Boogla I got rid of. Because it kept duplicating itself. Yeah. Yeah, why doesn't everybody just try it? Let's see. One of you will get it to work. I know it. Yeah, it seems to be working, but... Okay, so that worked, the PayPal. Okay, so something's working now. Hopefully everything's working. It could have also been that I didn't... The window that we're looking at here doesn't have... Let me try to fix some of this stuff, okay? Hold on. I think this might be the reason. See, I'm on the right screen now. I gotta put it on that other one now. Okay, see, this other screen doesn't have it. So I'm gonna paste this Streamlabs alert box in there, and then maybe it'll work. Okay, so I think it might work the next time. Anyways, I apologize for that. Alright, so let me read this last part again. It says, Shaila knows she has our love. I'm going to read this last part again. She trusts us more than anything with her son. Maybe she needed a mommy moment with all she's been dealing with. I have a feeling she left willingly to do something spontaneous, but changed her mind and wasn't allowed to come back. Bryce is on felony probation, and he wasn't to leave the county. Maybe they were going to hurry and come back. But see, why was the phone then put into the garbage can? They hadn't left the county yet. You see what I'm saying? Bryce is on a felony probation. He wasn't to leave the county. Maybe they were going to hurry and come back, but I had already reported her missing. As a mom, my heart is sinking. And thanks, Kevin Brown. As a mom, my heart is sinking every day without hearing from her. As her baby, family, and friends, I know she wouldn't just have thrown her phone away. She had recent pictures of her pride and joy she's attached to her phone. Yes, at the time her dad called Bryce, his phone pinged in Spencer. That was a question I asked her. So her phone did ping in Spencer when the dad called the phone, but her cell phone had already been dumped prior to that, you see? So that's a little bit more ominous. That means it could have been from the get-go. Oh, man. What's going on, Zozo? Let's see if it works. We'll make this a combo cat eye if it works. If that transfer just worked that I did. Where I put the... Oh, Jesus. See? I was looking at something else. So there you go. Well, thank you very much, Zozo.
Let's get freaky.
Yeah, so that one's for Alifair and Zozo at the same time. Alright? A double whammy. Anyways, thank you guys so much. And thank you, Andrea Ruggiero Drum. Or Andrea. Now I can't remember. I keep rotating it around so much. With Andrea and Andrea. Probably go by both. You know, like Gary, Greg, Lance. Yeah, it's Andrea, yeah. But, I mean, sometimes I say Andrea Ruggiero Drum, and then sometimes Andrea Ruggiero, you know. Just like my name is Gary, Greg, Craig, Greg, You know, it just goes on and on. Yes, thank you guys very much. Miss Giss is a 4.5.2 dark. Man. And then she wrote back again. Also, she would never leave this long without calling. We're close as a family, from us to her 2 older brothers. She's really their shining light and baby sister. Wait, it says, she just said, you're welcome. Thanks for getting back to me to clear it up. And then she said, also, Shaila's car, the front end has damage. Standard low beam front passenger is burned out. Can use brights and it'll work. No tinted windows. So a little more information on the vehicle there. All right, well, that was the update on Shaila. Yep. Just call me George. Yeah, well, he had some issues for sure. Yeah, I'm not showing you anything. I'm showing on the screen right now are just all the Freak family members who have, you know, bought gear and putting it on there. I'm just reading. Isn't that okay, Sasmir? You've got that hickey thing going again. Oh, you mean where the light? Yeah, let me see if I can fix that. There you go. I'll just make it darker. Okay. All right. Well, now I'm gonna switch over to the other screen, and I'm gonna do the. You haven't seen Jenny Penny again. She kind of comes in for a few days and then takes off, comes back in. Saw what? I don't get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Someone sent it to my email. Yeah. People were so concerned that I missed that $100 one. They sent me emails about it. Oh, and then also Melanie sent me a PayPal. So thank you very much. Or it was somebody else, but now I won't say. So okay, all right. Oops. Okay, I was gonna bring up really quick the. Let's see. That actress from Glee, Naya Rivera, she apparently is missing. I don't know if they've found her yet. I mean, they may have. But she apparently was with her kid in one of these boats, and I guess they were swimming, and she just disappeared.
Actress Naya Rivera is now recovery mission. This is according to CBS in Los Angeles. Her
I always thought
4-year-old
she was
son
really
was
pretty.
found alone on a rented bike on a rented boat, on Lake Piru up in Ventura County. The Ventura Sheriff's Department says the Glee actress rented the boat at about 1 p.m. yesterday. 3 hours later, another boat found the child safe in the boat by himself. He apparently told investigators he and his mom, they were swimming, but his mom never got back into the boat. Right now, no foul play is suspected.
Nothing suspicious at this point. Right now, we're viewing this really as a tragic accident.
Officials fear that she may have drowned. The deputies say they will continue to search for Rivera today. That includes the help of Ventura Fire Department, a search and rescue dive team, helicopters, as well as drones.
Yeah, and I do have there was a press conference that I recorded, and then I fixed the audio since it was coming out of one ear again. So I'll just play it for you guys.
And we're going to try and release some. Is currently being worked out. I hope at the conclusion of this press conference, we're going to put out a formal press release with links to those assets included.
Sergeant, what's the status of the search after today? You go just tonight, tomorrow, the next day?
We're going to keep people here through the night. We're not going to leave the area. We're going to have people that can respond here tonight if something develops, we learn something. But people being in the water searching will suspend at dark. Air operations will suspend more than likely at dark. And then we will resume tomorrow at daybreak.
You remember when we told you Florida could be the epicenter for COVID-19? Yeah, well, it's been 2 weeks.
As I understand
That's where we are right now.
And
we've added more than
hold on a
100,000 cases in those 14 days.
There we go.
Every single...
I was like, whoa, why is that guy talking about asking him a question about COVID?
Miss Rivera rented the boat sometime on or before 1 p.m. It was a 3-hour rental. She was supposed to bring the boat back at 4 p.m. At around 4:30, when she didn't return the boat, the concession workers that are responsible for renting the boats went out looking for her, and that's when they found the boat and placed the call to 911.
Was it windy yesterday like today?
Yes.
Would that been a factor?
Not really. Not so much. I mean, it does with the operation of the boats on the water. The wind pushes the boats, but not to where it's really hindered us in any significant way.
Was the motor running on the pontoon was found?
We don't know. No.
No, there was just one window open.
It wasn't pushed to the shore. It was found out on the water. But how long it had been unmanned or, without her operating it, we don't know.
So, I mean, where you're searching...
There's Jenny Penny.
Well, I don't think it would have traveled the whole distance of the lake. And so that's one of the things that complicates the search is we have to go with where the boat was found initially and then work our way outward from there. And when you're talking about underwater and visibility that's really limited, it's a slow-going search process. A diver can stay down at that depth for probably around 30 to 40 minutes. They're carrying excess gear. They're not like recreational divers. And with that load, they're expelling more oxygen.
Oh, I said.
I don't know how to
there's
describe
Jenny
where she was
Penny
found in
because
terms of
I said
there
I haven't
was,
seen her in a couple of days.
Debris close to the surface or not, but that condition is common for that area of the lake where there's trees and roots and entanglements beneath the water.
Do you know how long she was in the water with her son?
No, we do not.
What her clothes found in the boat? Did Miss Rivera take off her clothes and change into a bathing costume? Is there evidence?
I don't know. If that's it, I'll conclude the press conference. Thank you. Our hearts and our prayers and thoughts go out to the Rivera family. This is a terrible tragedy for all of them, and we hope to bring closure for that family.
The son's okay?
Yes, as far as I know, as good as can be expected. He's with family.
Wait, I thought it was over. I was saying goodbye. And
I'm sorry? I've been with the Sheriff's Office for nearly 30 years. Not just this lake, but in other lakes where we've had drownings. It can be 2-3 days to a week. I don't know. Again, it goes back to if there's something if the body's entangled in some way, it may not come back up. You can't predict it.
Sergeant, is there any other record of accidents like this before?
Well, I think it's too early to say what happened here. We're still investigating. We're still trying to find out what happened. As we learn more, we can speak more to that. But it's not uncommon that we have boating accidents and people lose their lives. We had just.
Record for the last year or something?
I don't think we've had a drowning here in the past year, but we have had drownings here for various circumstances. So.
So, just on the point of body possibly being stacked, how confident are you in your shape in that you will get to it if it is stacked, or that complication means it could be a long, long time before that?
There's no way to really say. We're putting forth our best foot forward to try and locate her. We're using all the assets that are available to us. We're using technology like sonar. We have experts who have dove this lake that know it inside and out, where debris pockets might be. We're relying on their expertise to help us in that endeavor. So we're going to do everything that we can to find her.
Yeah, well, the thing is he's saying it's a tragedy because where would she be? Beamed up by an alien? I mean, she was swimming with her kid. The kid himself said we were swimming, and then she didn't come back up. So, I mean, obviously, the odds of her not drowning or something like that is very low. That's why he's thinking it's a tragedy already, okay?
We're going to continue to search, and the search managers, those that are responsible for managing the overall search, they'll may get to a point in time where they've expelled every resource, they've searched every area, the probability of detection of finding someone in a particular area they've exhausted, and when we get to that point, that's when they would probably have to suspend the search. But we're not there yet, so we plan on to continue at this point. I don't have that information. The only information about what was on the boat was her purse, her ID, the life vests, and that when the concessionaires got to the boat, it looked like her son was sleeping. And that's really all the information I have to give out in that regard.
I heard there was some food or something.
I don't know. I don't know. The life vests, and that when the concessionaires got to the boat, it looked like her son was sleeping. And that's really all the information I have to give out in that regard.
I heard there was some food or something.
I don't.
Sound like she said food, something like that. Or boo. I don't know. I don't think she said booze.
No. She had been to this lake before. She's had experience boating on this lake before, but I don't know that he has. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Yep, there you go. It's crazy. I know it's not really, I don't know if it's crime related or not, but I'm just putting it out there. Who knows what's going on. Sounds like she just drowned, but what a tragedy. I guess you don't want to work on another show called Glee, right? I'm not sure how many people have died that have been on that show, but it seems like more than 2. Thanks, Half Rudder. Looks like blue's out to the wind. I need to put some oil in this chair now. See, listen to it now. Listen. It's crazy.
Thanks for all you do, Gray.
Yeah, WD-40. That's what I need. Hey, thanks, Michelle Nicholas. And Half Rudder. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this next one. Look at Blue doing a little dance.
Love to all our freaking mods and Gray. Sorry I'm late. Hugging face, throwing kisses, revolving hearts.
Yeah, I think it's most likely an accident. But, you know, to be honest, you don't really know. What if the kid was sleeping and, I don't know, I mean, he seems to remember that she went in the water, but then he went to sleep? I don't know. So, you know, you got some little weirdness in there, but it seems like a wide open lake that people would have seen something. Right, yep. She went in the water but didn't come out. He said that. So I think the odds of it being something nefarious are pretty low at this point. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to a different case here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna, you guys, there was a... It looks like they've solved a case from 1986 of Denise, I think it's Pflum, or I don't know, Pflum. I'm not sure if it's Pflum or Plum. Probably just Pflum. But what I'm going to do is I want to go back in time here and read through it, like I always do. And this one, where it says continued on page 7, it wasn't there. David A. and Judith Pflum have been... Hey, thanks, Linda Howell. Haven't been to work since their 18-year-old daughter disappeared. Instead, the Fayette County couple are awaiting word on the whereabouts of Denise Diane Pflum, last seen March 28th when she left her parents' home in Everton, 6 miles south of Connorsville. Well, today's the 9th, right? Okay. Okay, yeah, I knew I had a couple more here. Hold on a second. I put them in the wrong folder.
Freak Family and Gray Rocks.
Okay, just a second. All right, I'm gonna start over again. Here we go. So this is the first one. Connorsville girl missing, no leads. Fayette County authorities are baffled by the disappearance of an 18-year-old Connorsville High School senior. Denise Pflum of Everton was reported missing Friday evening by her father, Fayette County Councilman David Pflum. And this is April 1st, 1986. But she went missing just a couple days before that. She was last seen early Friday afternoon at the family home. She was planning to search for a purse she had lost Thursday night in the Glenwood area. When she failed to return home that evening, her father notified authorities. Detective Lieutenant Ted McKinley of the Fayette County Sheriff's Department said this morning he had no new leads. I've talked to a lot of young people in the last few days, but there are no clues, said McKinley. Pflum's locked car was found by a farmer Saturday morning in the Glenwood area. Police searched surrounding fields Saturday and Sunday. A police dog and an Indiana State Police airplane also failed to produce any clues. When last seen, the 5'6", 135-pound student was wearing a red Motley Crue t-shirt, striped jeans, and a pair of old tennis shoes. She has light brown hair and brown eyes. Relatives called the disappearance out of character for the CHS honor student. McKinley dismissed the possibility she had run away. I wish to God that she was a runaway, but I don't believe that's the case, he said. She tried to get some of her friends to go with her to look for the purse, but couldn't. Anyone who might have seen Denise, or, so it goes and gives a phone number that probably doesn't exist anymore. And then there's another article. Her car was found at 12:30 p.m. Saturday on a farm about a half-mile off Indiana 44 near Glenwood. Her family told detectives that she didn't know anyone in that area. But I wonder why she said she was going to look for her purse in that area if she didn't know of anybody in that area. According to the Fayette County Sheriff Zimmerman, she had attended a party Thursday night and lost her purse. Miss Pflum, whose school was on spring break last week, said she was going to retrace her steps to try and find it. Man, what a nightmare. I mean, she just goes out to do something, just look for a purse, and then she just disappears from the face of the earth, Okay, and this was from just like a week or so later, April 9th. What Ted McKinley wants more than anything is for Denise Pflum to be found. McKinley, a detective lieutenant with the Fayette County Sheriff's Department, is in charge of the investigation into the disappearance of 18-year-old Connorsville High School senior. I don't care who finds her, as long as she's found, he said Tuesday. We just like to see her back home safe. McKinley is a cousin to Denise's father. Sure, it bothers me, McKinley said. It would bother me normally. I'm a father too, but when it's somebody in the family, it adds a little pressure. Maybe we'll come up with something. McKinley said he talks with David and Judy Pflum, Denise's parents, nearly every day. They're doing as well as they could possibly be, expected to do under these circumstances. I can only imagine what they can be thinking. They're just exhausted. They're more or less going on what we feel and we've got to do. McKinley said he believed the parents have stopped talking to news media. They put out a plea to the girl to please contact them, but I think they're just exhausted with that. At the Pflum home in the Everton area, Denise's grandmother verified it. The Pflums aren't being interviewed. What form is the investigation taking? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's possible sightings and so forth. Okay, so then I actually found another article from 2014 in the newspaper. So that's her right there. So Denise Pflum left her parents' Connorsville home on March 28, 1986. She was going to look for her purse that she lost at a house party the night before, the 18-year-old told her mother. Her car, a 1981 cream-colored Buick Regal, was found later that day at a farm east of Glenwood. a town about 50 miles southeast of Indianapolis. A friend later told detectives that she had seen Pflum that afternoon at the fashion bug store at Connorsville Plaza, but her mother believes the girl might have been mistaken. The clothing that the girl described does not match Judy Pflum said. Almost 30 years later, Denise Pflum has not come home. Indiana State Police Detective Scott Jarvis was assigned to the case in 2007. He said, like most cold cases, there had been plenty of tips, theories, and rumors. I just think it was probably just somebody totally random. Okay, let's go to where things stand. The most recent progress in the case, Jarvis said, was when detectives entered the DNA of Dennis Pflum and her family into the national database. That's in case a body is found and they can identify her. Yeah, God, what a freaking nightmare. Well, that was 2014. And then we've got breaking news today. And, you know, Nate Eaton's everywhere now, but a man has been arrested in the disappearance of an Indiana girl who mysteriously vanished more than 30 years ago. Connorsville, Indiana high school student Denise Pflum went missing in 1986 after she planned to return to the site of a party to retrieve her purse, Dateline NBC reported in a feature story about the case in March. Since then, her parents have been left with questions about their missing daughter. It is a terrible thing to simply say your daughter is missing without having any concrete knowledge as to whether she is missing or whether she is dead, her father David Pflum told the channel. On Wednesday, the Fayette County Sheriff's Office announced Sean M. McClung was charged with voluntary manslaughter in the teenage girl's death. The information and probable cause alleges that McClung previously claimed that Pflum was still alive, but has recently admitted he killed her in March of 1986. I wonder why he would admit that. The sheriff's office released a few other details, saying the investigation of other people involved in the case is ongoing. And I think that's him right there. Sean M. McClung is charged in the death of Connorsville, Indiana teen Denise Pflum, who disappeared in 1986. I wonder if it's just kind of been weighing on him all these years. You know? And then he was like, he said something. I don't know. It's pretty bizarre. Usually something like this is a DNA, but they haven't even had they never found her body. So if he didn't say, oh, I did it, he'd still be walking around free. So you sort of wonder. Yeah, we don't know if he was at the party or anything yet. I'd like to hear a press conference on this, though, for sure. 18-year-old Denise Pflum disappeared in 1986 without a trace. For over 30 years, her family had no answers as to what happened to their daughter. A day after she disappeared, Pflum's Buick Regal was found in a rural farm in neighboring Glenwood, but without any evidence, including fingerprints. In 2018, the Pflum family put together a $25,000 reward to offer for information about what happened to their daughter. The Fayette County Sheriff's Department says Sean M. McClung was charged Thursday with voluntary manslaughter resulting from the investigation into the death of Denise Pflum. Court documents say McClung previously claimed that Pflum was still alive, but has recently admitted that he killed her in March of 1986. I'd like to see the document. I mean, why are they even talking to this guy? Was that the property that the car was found on? I mean, wouldn't that be crazy? This is just the start. There will be more to follow, which we cannot comment on at this point. We appreciate all the love and support that you have shown us. We appreciate that Denise has become... This is written by the family. About the parents of Denise. So it says, this is just the start. There will be more to follow, which we cannot comment on at this point. We appreciate all of the love and support that you have shown us. We appreciate that Denise has become like family to all of you. Our daughter was a special person whom we will never forget, and we know that this community will not forget. We are so grateful for all of those who have followed her story, who have helped with the investigation, and who have shown support and love. At this time, we ask that that you respect our privacy and allow us the time we need to mourn and grieve our beloved daughter, sister, aunt, niece, cousin, and friend. Denise was a wonderful young woman. Her light is never gone. Her love will always remain with us and with all of you. Thank you for all of your help. We love and appreciate every one of you. And then the Sheriff's Department says the investigation is ongoing regarding the involvement of other parties. Wow. Jesus. Well, it's good to know that they're making progress on that one. It's pretty crazy, though. They must have actually had somebody just admit to it, and that's leading to the whole house of cards collapsing. Hopefully somebody will spill the beans and say where she is, so that she can be buried in a grave, and the family can, you know, go visit and mourn her whenever they feel like it. Because she's dead, Alley Cat. That's what makes sense. Somebody admitted to doing it, Alley Cat. Yeah. He just didn't have to. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you is, you know, without him saying yes, I killed her, well, there would be nothing. She isn't alive. Okay, she was an honor student. She was doing really well. There was no reason for her to leave at all, and she was killed. Yeah, what kind of a... Jesus. Hey, Sharon Parker, what's your, what do you let me know that for? I don't really understand what the whole point of that. I don't get what you're saying there. Yeah, normally I, Oh, he was? Okay. So maybe he did drive her, but why would he kill her though? You know, this is one of the cold cases I hadn't heard of, to be honest with you. It's just one that you know, we cover so many of them, and you know, there's thousands and thousands of cold cases out there, literally. I mean, it's crazy. No, jeez, what's going on here? All these idiots showing up here advertising for other channels. See you later, Danny. Have a good one. What a dipshit. Jesus. Why did you unhide him? What are you doing? Yeah, well, it's just his fault because Alley Cat, because he said, "Yep, I did it." Okay, so that's interesting if that's her boyfriend. But I don't understand why he would need to, I mean, did she just break up with him or something? I guess I'd have to go and look at the family Facebook pages and sort of get all the information over the years. I was just going over the old articles and he does kind of look like Negan, doesn't he? But thank you, Incognito, for the information there. But that's the boyfriend. That makes it. It is interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with later in future reports. Maybe there'll be a press conference laying it all out at some point. Yeah. So hold on now. I'm gonna go take a little quick break here, if you don't mind. Okay. Thank you, Sherlock Hemlock.
Thanks for all your hard work, Gray and Mods, and for keeping the weirdos at bay. They're out tonight.
fired out of it, now 10 down, 15 on the mind, but I'm buried on 15.
Hit the like button, 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 like button, like button.
I'm buried on 30 and 30 and 30, 25 of it, I'm buried on 30. Going to the 30, sir, 25 of it, you're out. I'm buried on 25 of it, I'm buried on 30, 30, now 5.
Yeah, wow, I was just thinking, man, I got to know a little bit more about this, so let's check this one out. This is on the Justice for Denise page here. I met Sean McClung when I was 15. My mom, Judy, often drove Jenny and I to Everton so we could sleep in and then go on the bus. The bus is where I met Sean. Sean was older than me, almost 18. I had a crush right away and started waking up early just so I could ride the bus with him. Sean and I started dating soon after we met. He drove a 55 Chevy that his dad was restoring. It was the same model and even color that my dad David drove when he started dating my mom. Let's see. Since Sean was older than me, he ran with a different crowd than I did. I got to know his friends, though, which included Ellie, Levi, and Benjamin Johnson. We dated off and on. This is probably just sort of written through her eyes, but, written by maybe the mom or something like that. I got to know his friends, though, which included Ellie, Levi, and Benjamin Johnson. We dated off and on during my time in high school, but had broken up prior to the party on the 27th. It's odd to think... See, there you go. They broke up. It's odd to think now, for me, Sean was a great love of my life. Most people date in high school, but then move on after. It is rare for the high school sweetheart Oh, let's see. Thank you, Jan. I didn't even see what you did, so thank you, Jana Fan. No, it could be a diary, yeah. Yeah, maybe it is, because this last part doesn't seem like what the mom was, right? Yeah, it was definitely starting to sound more like
This is what I meant to do. Out here slingly my wrench around. Whoopsie. Thanks for covering this story, Gray. We love you.
Well, thank you. Jana Fan. So right at the end here it starts saying, most people date in high school but then move on after. It is rare for the high school sweetheart to be your lifelong love. For me, I never got to know a love other than him. He was a big part of my world. It's so weird, isn't it? She's very pretty. Had that sort of that natural look. Now let me look at this one article that I found. You could see it. Ah, crap. Is it this one? Yeah. The case dates back to March 28, 1986. The justice for Denise Pflum. Is that how it's... Is it Pflum or Plum? I mean, am I saying it right? I mean... Because I've seen PF with an F sound in it before. So is it Pflum or Plum? Or Pflum? So like Pflum? Okay. Like Pflum or Pflum? Thank you, if the dead could talk. Okay, Pflum. Okay. So I wasn't even close. I was saying Plum. Sorry about that, everybody. The case dates back to March 28, 1986. The justice for Denise Pflum says, I was going to try to read those hearts. Purple heart.
Purple heart, heart, purple heart, heart, purple heart, heart.
Why is it just saying heart, though? That's black. It's a black heart. It's so descriptive on every other one. The case dates back to March 28, 1986. The justice for Denise Pflum page says it was spring break, with parties scheduled for almost every night for the final spring break of her high school years. The night before she went missing, Denise was at a bonfire party. While she was there, the page reports she lost her purse. She told her family that she would go back and look for it the next day. When she headed out in her cream-colored 1981 Buick Regal, it would be the last time her family would see her. During the investigation into her disappearance, McClung claimed that Pflum was still alive. Yeah, what a dipshit, really. However, the Fayette County Sheriff's Department says he has recently admitted to killing her in March of 1986, right when she went missing. Family members reacted to the arrest Thursday, saying they appreciate the support they had gotten over the years and are looking forward to the day Denise can be given a fitting memorial. I'd like to, it'd be great to have the more of the detail. Like, well, how does, Klung or whatever the hell his name is, how does he play a role like McClung? How did he see her when she was out looking for her purse? Did he go with her? Had they broke up and then he tried to get back together with her? Something like that? Yeah, thanks, Incognito. Yep, we got that figured out. You must be like 10 minutes behind over there. But you think it's Pflum, not Pflum, okay? Man, I can't. I've screwed it up so many times now. Yes, Krista, that was a speculation. Yeah, I was just wondering how he got to be with her that day when she's out looking for her purse. Yeah, maybe. He could have followed her. Could have been aliens too, we just don't know. Right. I mean, you think he lived out there? He didn't live there,
The P is
though.
silent, it's pronounced like thumb.
Yeah. How's the eye doing, Carrie Boyer? Yeah, because he didn't live out in that area, so I'm just trying to figure out. Maybe, you know how she was calling around for friends, and none of them said they could go? Well, maybe at the last minute, he got a hold of her or something, and he went with her. But it's also interesting that her car is left out there, so that means there was probably another car involved, and apparently they think other people were involved. Now, are those people involved in killing her, or were they involved with helping to hide her body afterwards? I guess we won't know that yet. Yeah, but how do you know that, Incognito? How would you know that? I mean, where does it say that anywhere? That's like something that only her and he would know, right? Had he admitted all that? She wrote, he drove up to her house. They fought. She told him to leave. He did. Then not long after that, she left, telling her mom she needed to go look for her purse. So, okay, well, maybe he did follow her. Okay, so people just there just say that? They just talk about it? I don't know. I just want to know where that came from instead of just saying you live somewhere. That doesn't mean anything. You know, it's better to just have an article or somewhere where it says that. Like, how do we know that that happened? Did the mom say that they fought? Was somebody there to witness it? Yeah, so maybe he did follow her or something like that. But how do you know it was from tips? Well, I think right now, Kim F. Harp, they're probably, you know, the case is wrapping up, actually. I don't think they need to... I think she might have liked to come on if I had known about the case a year ago or so. But at this point, it sounds like they're wrapping it all up. Oh, yeah? Well, cool. Yeah, I haven't followed it at all, but it seems like it's kind of interesting. It sounds like they've been interested in this McClung guy for a long time.
I bet her family would welcome a chance to be guests on a live with you, Gray.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't need any more help at all. I wish I'd heard about it before. I'd never heard of it, though. I think people, if people have known for a long time that that incident occurred, well, he's always had to have been the main suspect in the case. I mean, like, the entire time. It just took a while for his conscience to probably... Because they have no evidence on him, right? I mean, it's like... There was no cell phone pinging back then. And they don't have her body. So basically, he must have just came forward at some point and said, yeah, I did it. After he lived a full life, right? I mean, he's 50-something years old, probably almost 60 at this point. Well, he's not dead, though. I don't think. I mean, he's still alive, isn't he? Yeah. Incognito said, yes, you're right, Gray. He's been the main suspect. Yep, no evidence, not even fingerprints on the car. It was wiped clean according to forensics in 1986. Rumor is he's dying. And that's... Oh, okay. Well, see, that just makes him even worse, you know? I mean, at least he's saying something, but it was like, hey, if I was healthy and everything, I was just going to live my full life. And then right at the end, I might have said something. You know, what he's probably doing now... And see, that's one of the things I don't believe in the whole, you know, Christian born-again thing. Because what he's doing now is he's sort of doing the whole repent thing. Okay, I came clean, God, and now I'm going to accept you, and I get to go to heaven too. Right? That's what he's hoping for here. That's one of the things I don't like. I mean, really? So on your deathbed, after you could be a psycho like Jeffrey Dahmer and accept Jesus into your heart, and all of a sudden you're free to go. I mean, I just don't buy it. I think God's smarter than that, right, everybody? Come on. Let's give him a little bit more ability. That's exactly what I was saying a minute ago, that there's probably other people that were out there that were, you know, they helped cover up the crime. That's what I said a few minutes ago. And those are probably the other people that they're just going to tie it all up in a big bow and get everybody in jail that needs to be sentenced for something. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is if he's repenting, he needs to say where she was put. But it might be that he's embarrassed at what happened. Oh, it's okay, Incognito. It's cool that you've been covering it. I've never even heard of it. It sounds like it would have... There wasn't a lot of facts, though, in the case. So people covered it for a long time, but there's so little information. Okay, yeah, they got in the fight. Yep. Then she went looking for a purse, and that's it. You know? I mean, there's hardly any information in the case. So it's like, I don't even know how people would cover that for so many years. Like, what were the things that would happen? But anyways, crazy. Man, I'm glad there's... This is one of the rare ones solved this many years later that has nothing to do with forensics whatsoever. Just thankfully, he came forward saying, yep, I did it. Right, but what has he really done, though, in the 4 years? Other than get him to finally say, I did it. You know, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, there isn't anything to do. You know? I mean, that's a huge win, but I'm trying to figure out when you say more for this case. Yeah, probably more publicity. They did get the DNA entered into a database and everything. I'm just saying, if this guy hadn't confessed, there still wouldn't be a solved case. They always would have thought he did it, but he would have got away with it. He just thinks it's going to help him in his afterlife. Right, but there was nothing in the pond, right? So she wasn't in the pond. I don't think pressure did anything on him. I think he just went, oh shit, I'm dying. I've got to make it all right so I can go to heaven. Right? So, anyways, I'm going to switch now off of this. But we'll look, whenever they come up with the full story at some point, we'll play it. What was the other one? Hold on. Oh yeah. And then when I was looking at this case, I stumbled upon another case, Peggy Sue Altes, or Alts, A-L-T-E-S. So I'm just looking at that one now. I'll check that one out later. Right. I got a folder building on it. I don't think there's really anything fair. He took the life away. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of other stuff now to go over. So let's go over this one next. So you remember the suitcase, TikTok suitcase that floated up on the beach? Or underneath that little dock in Seattle? Well, these are the two people that were in those suitcases. Isn't that crazy? The bodies of two individuals have been identified after they were discovered on June 19th, 2020 by a group of teens who recorded the experience on TikTok. According to the King County Medical Examiner's Office, the remains belong to Jessica Lewis, 35, and her boyfriend Austin Wenner, 27. The authorities said the cause of death for Wenner was a gunshot wound to the torso. That was the guy. While Lewis had multiple gunshot wounds. And it's weird too, because she's 35, he's 27. It almost seems like an ex-boyfriend or somebody was so pissed off that she, that the guy, you know, killed her, shot her a bunch of times and hacked up the boyfriend and everything. But he's more mad at her, right? I don't know. But, I mean, that's just my initial thought about it. I mean, some people might think it's drugs or something, but I don't know. It seems like there's some anger there against one of them. The other one was sort of like a technical shot, you know. They just get him out of the way and then shot the 35-year-old multiple times. The case drew national attention last month because of TikTok videos showing the discovery of the several bags.
Guys, we found a suitcase at the...
You gotta go. I'll hold your stuff. I don't know.
Bro. Wait, open it.
Me and we were like, we're gonna find nothing.
Open it.
It was sweet.
It stinks, y'all.
It washed off. It's
Oh! Oh! Okay, so she made... Okay, so she...
I mean, that's pretty weird, isn't it? Now that you go back, those are actually bodies of those two people in there. I want to know what the background is here, though. Yeah. So this is him right here on Facebook. And I think that's her. I think. Okay. And there's her page. So, I mean, they picked, like, you know, the picture she's using. So, here's kind of her regular look here. I don't know why anybody does these things like that. Like, yeah, they haven't posted on Facebook in a long time. I mean, that's like 2 years ago. All right. Yeah, you missed the part about Naya. I don't think they found her yet. Yeah, it's just bizarre. 35 and 27. I'm sure they'll be doing more investigation and we'll get the answers. So keep a lookout for the answers. Okay, this is regarding that Fort Hood soldier, the other one that was found. Hold on, let me go over there. Yeah, I think one of them was found right, the one that we're talking about was found right here in this field. Okay, listen, family hopes autopsy will help strike dead Fort Hood soldier's name from deserted list. Well, yeah, I mean, it should already be off of that. Okay, Kim Weddle is waiting for her son's autopsy results. Gregory Morales is this guy right here. I think that's the other body found, right? Is that correct? Private Gregory Morales' skeletal remains were discovered June 19th, about 10 months after he was last seen in a field several miles from his duty station in Fort Hood, Texas. The 24-year-old's clothing was shredded and scattered and was lightly buried in dirt. Okay, well, so you think he shot himself or something in the head, and then he fell to the ground, and then on hitting the ground, his arms were hit the ground in such a way that it covered himself with dirt? Let's see. Weddle said she was found. She has fought from day one with the Army and other investigators who told her Morales was AWOL and that he was a grown man who left on his own and that there was no proof anything bad happened to him. The proof is he disappeared. He had no money and he's not answering the phone. There's something wrong, Weddle said. See, that's what's crazy. How come he just didn't listen to the parents? You know, it's just the same damn thing that happens in law enforcement all the time. You know, somebody will say, hey, my child never does this. Well, give it 48 hours and let us know. Well, screw you, okay? They don't do this shit. I mean, that military base, I mean, I think they need to start over again. I don't know what in the hell's going on over there. It's crazy. The proof is he disappeared, he had no money, and he's not answering the phone. There's something wrong, Weddle said during a telephone interview. I was kind of ignored. What happened during his final days and how he died remains unknown, or at least not shared by police who have offered few details to his family. Even though Morales disappeared days before he was supposed to be discharged, ending in enlistment. So he died just before he was going to be done being enlisted. So why would he go AWOL just before he was... See, that should have been a red flag right off the get-go. Army placed him on its list of deserters in mid-September. He is still there, but Army Criminal Investigation Command now suspects foul play in his death. So do the local authorities. The Killeen Police Department can confirm that foul play is suspected. Ophelia Miramontes, a spokeswoman for the department, said in an email to Army Times, "Since the investigation is ongoing, we're not going to release any other information at this time. Until an autopsy determines Morales' time of death, officials from 1st Cavalry Division, under which Morales served, said they cannot take further action on his status." Really? But you suspect foul play. How about you take him off of that, and then if you can prove later he's a deserter, put him back on. That's what the default should be. We've been told he's a deserter unless the autopsy results come back and prove that he's been dead since he disappeared. I don't know if an autopsy can be that specific. Well, it can be pretty close. The trail for the missing soldier went cold almost immediately, but in May, Weddle's daughter, listen to this crazy part, but in May, Weddle's daughter-in-law, who's married to her other son, managed to track down Morales' vehicle on Carfax, showing it had been in Dallas this December and sold at auction. When she called the Army CID officials, told her they already recovered the car in January. Like, what does that mean? You don't think that would be something to tell us? Why keep that a secret, Whittle asked. That was the first time they even came close to admitting they might have screwed up. And maybe something did happen to him since they recovered the car and he wasn't with it. Anyways, it's another nightmare family dealing with the same bullshit. This is a Japanese story. Wow. Saki Kakahashi's daughter was found wearing a dirty nappy and surrounded by rubbish inside her mom's apartment in Tokyo. A post-mortem exam revealed she died from severe dehydration and hunger, it is reported. Kakahashi, 24, is alleged to have confessed to detectives, telling them she didn't expect her daughter, Noah, to die when she left her alone for more than a week in June. Wow. The mom allegedly told detectives she thought it would be all right. I mean, this is such a weird story to come out of Japan. You don't hear stuff like that coming out of there very often. She thought it would be all right to leave the youngster alone in their flat in Tokyo while she visited her lover in Kagoshima Prefecture in southern Japan. She was arrested on Tuesday following a month-long investigation. Let's see, it alleged the mom called for help after returning home on June 13th and told an emergency line that her daughter wasn't breathing. Well, yeah, because you left her alone for a week with no food. You're an idiot. Did you even put any food out on the ground or anything? Like, so that she could... What a disgusting pile of shit. I mean, just at least, I mean, what did you do? Put her in a crib and with nothing? No food, no water? I mean, I'd still put you in jail for 20 years if you'd left and even put some food in the crib. Because you're an idiot. You shouldn't be in society. But you didn't even do that, apparently. Noah was wearing a nappy that hadn't been changed for days, and she had rashes on her bottom. The mom's flat was filled with rubbish. Wow, that's just so weird. Staff and Noah's nursery said they had not seen the girl for more than a year. Wait, was this a different case here? What are we talking about here? Who's Noah? That's her child's name? Okay, weird. That doesn't sound Japanese. Staff at Noah's nursery said they had not seen the girl for more than a year. Noah lived with her mom, who was divorced from the girl's dad. According to Japan Times, a friend of Kakahashi told the police she had left home for several days or returned late at night, leaving her daughter unattended. What a joke. Jesus. Well, it just shows you that there's idiot, barbarian parents even in Japan, right? I know for sure there's a cannibal that lives there. In Japan, as barbaric as they were in World War II, they overcame it so well. Even going so far as to having a cannibal living amongst them that they let out of prison after a while because he'd sort of, we've treated him. So he's literally walking the streets now. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. You should go look that guy up, like the Japanese cannibal. Okay, here's another one. Providence police believe missing 14-year-old girl could be with murder suspect. Go Local has learned Providence police have issued a warrant for a suspect in the recent murder on Progress Avenue. Moreover, they believe the missing 14-year-old girl they recently announced as being considered endangered could be with the murder suspect. On July 2nd, police released preliminary details in the city's third homicide and announced the next day that 14-year-old Ala Trinidad was reported missing from a neighboring house. We have a warrant for murder for the suspect. There is a possibility that the missing juvenile could be with him. According to police sources, the suspect is Felix Javier Hernandez, age 18, of Providence. Of course, you can bet your bottom dollar that BLM won't be discussing this one because it doesn't fit into what, the lives that they care about. Providence police on July 2nd released details of the second homicide in 1 week in the city, making the third of the year. Last night around 11:30, we got a call at 223 Progress Avenue. This must be in Rhode Island, right? That looks like 222. No, that's 223. Yep. Nice house. Let's see, is this the same? Okay, I think this is related. Right here. Last week, a 50-year-old woman was killed in Providence. Detectives have been working since last night. We do have some leads. It seems like the man was working in the house and also knew the family. So we're trying to put things together, and there's not much more I can give you on that. He's 37 years old. He's a contractor. It's so interesting because you look at this street view here, and I was thinking, it looks like a lot of construction going on. And this street view is actually from July 2019. So, not long ago. So we're trying to put things together, and there's not much more I can give you on that. He's 37 years old, he's a contractor, and that's about all we can give you now. He was shot in the street. He was talking to an acquaintance, and the shots came up the street. There were quite a few. On Tuesday, July 7th, Providence police announced a 14-year-old juvenile at 219 Progress Avenue has been missing since July 3rd. I wonder if the person he shot saw him trying to abduct her, and then he shot at him. Because it's right next door. I could see that just by looking at the address, but so maybe this guy that lived here saw her, and look at there's construction going. Well, I don't know if that's construction or a fire escape. It looked like there was. Oh, that's weird. That's just a fire escape. Yeah, that's a total eyesore, don't you think? I mean, for a fire escape, Jesus. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can get out that window and down. Just totally ruins the entire look of the house, though. I guess I wouldn't care about that if there was a fire. But don't you think that it could be where the contractor working here eyed her, then he was abducting her, then this guy saw it or something, and then the 37-year-old shot and killed the person in this house. That's just a, speculation. Let's see what's going on here. Hopefully you can hear that. Can you guys hear it?
Ryan? Hey, Jerry. Put that mask up for a second. All right.
Like it?
Yeah, you go right ahead. Yeah.
It's for you.
Yeah. Okay. 223? 223. Okay. So last night, about 11:30, we had a call, 223 Progress Avenue, call for a shooting. We arrived, found a man had been shot. He was taken to Rhode Island Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. So detectives have been working it since last night. We do have some leads. It seems like the man was working in that house.
Here, just let me get the name of this again. I'm just gonna make a quick folder so I have it. Let's see. All right, got that. Okay, let me go back.
And also knew the family at 223. So we're trying to put things together right now, and there's not much more I can give you on that. He's 37 years old. He's a contractor, and that's about all we can give you for now. It's the third homicide of the year. If there's any questions for me, and then I'll turn it over to Kevin.
What kind of contractor?
He was doing work in the house, and the house is there, just general contracting. He also, I believe, knew the family socially.
Did not live in that home.
So which home was he doing the contract work on?
He was shot in the street, and he was talking to an acquaintance, and the shots came from up the street, and he was struck.
How many times?
There was quite a few.
Think he was targeted?
Right at this point, we don't know. So Captain O'Hara is running the investigation. He was close with it all night, and so I'm going to just turn it over to him. And if you have any further questions, you can ask the captain.
So Providence Police responded to the area of Terrace and Progress Street at 11:15 last night for a male who was shot. Started working the scene immediately and all through the night. Spoke to some of the family members and friends of the victim, who described him as a hardworking and a very good person. We can't understand why something like this would happen to him. If you were in the area or you're from the area and you saw anything unusual, maybe a speeding car or somebody running, and you didn't think anything of it last night, now knowing what happened, if you could reach out to the police and call us with any information that you may have. Continuing the investigation all day today and tomorrow.
Thank you, Zozo.
Whatever it takes to find out who did this to this person.
Was there anyone else shot?
No, there was just one victim.
And really, no leads at this point on who might have done the shooting, or?
Families are unaware of any situations that the victim may have been involved in. By all accounts, a very good person and hardworking, so there's no reason for anybody to believe why he was targeted last night.
Do you know how many shooters there were?
We don't know.
Did this victim live in Providence?
He lived in Providence.
And is relatively close to that area?
I don't know exactly how far from that spot he lived.
Was there another person transported to the hospital last night, or was it just this one victim?
It may have been somebody else transported unrelated to the assault. Somebody may have had some kind of emotional reaction to the situation unrelated to the shooting.
The shooting itself happened around 11. I guess it's that accurate to say.
Between 11 and 11:30.
Any indication? I know it's been a little quiet in recent months with the pandemic going on, but it seems like there's been a sort of uptick in crime in the last couple of weeks. Any indication as to maybe why?
Look, crime was extremely low, even leading into the pandemic. So let's look at it as, there's always an uptick when the warmer weather comes. Especially summer, people are outside more, interacting more. So we come off a time where we're inside for months and a lot of people are outside. It's still, our stats show our crime's still very low. It's just higher than it was during the pandemic.
And third homicide of the year.
Third, yeah.
Mentioning, going along with the idea that you just said, just people, things happen when it's outside and people are out more. Is there going to have to be ways you guys change your policing with that in mind, or is it just kind of business as usual? And
no, we always do that. We always look to see where the upticks are, and there's things like you got to understand it can't be everywhere. You only have so many people out there. And we'll go to the neighborhoods or the areas where we think that the crimes, where they are getting higher, and concentrate in those areas and those hot spots. So I think we've done a pretty good job of it so far. And it's not to put aside anything. What happened last night was terrible. We know that. And, it's the last thing we want to happen. Anybody getting hurt in the city. So that's what we do. We just do our best to make sure that everybody's safe.
Witnesses were around at the time. Are they being cooperative? Or are you facing any issues with that?
People are being cooperative. People spoke to us last night.
Are there any cameras in the area that you're looking into?
We're evaluating all that.
Good.
You guys can identify him today?
Well, so that's what I was just talking with the captain about earlier. We just want to make sure his parents are out of town, and although he has siblings in the city, we want to make sure that they've notified the parents, and we're not positive if that's happened yet. So I would think by the end of the day, we'll have an identification for it.
And so he was working late into the night. That was why he was there. He was working at a
Well, he works there and he also knows the people, so he socializes. So, either one of those reasons.
I've been there. Is it an upstairs, downstairs?
Yeah.
Is it upstairs?
Two family.
It's a two-family family that he was visiting, he was working on?
First floor.
First.
Does it seem that the shots were fired from a car, or is there any way to know that right now?
We don't have any indication that they came from a car.
And do you know how far down the street it was?
Two or three houses.
And it was away from Terrace.
Right around Terrace.
So it's from Terrace down.
Right.
Towards the street.
Towards the direction of Webster.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Okay, I had to take off the filter that boosted it up. See, normally I have it boosted 1.5 decibels, but I had it up 17. So, just so that the people that have really bad ears can hear it. Because all you have to do is turn up your volume. Yeah, so this is Terrace. So they were saying from Terrace towards... I think they were saying, like, the shooting came from this direction, like this. So the girl, let me just go over that article again. It's kind of confusing a little bit. I mean, I know that the 37-year-old is the shooter and the person that's the suspect of having her, but let's go over this again. We have a warrant. Let's see. We have a warrant for murder for the suspect. There is a possibility that the missing juvenile could be with him. According to police sources, the suspect is Felix Javier Hernandez. So he was doing work, and he was only 18 years old, though. That's interesting. But he was doing work on a house. Now, I don't know which... Let me see. Detectives have been working since last night. We do have some leads. It seems like the man was working in the house and also knew the family. So when you say the house, are you talking about at the 223 address? So we're trying to put things together, and there's not much more I can give you on that. He's 37 years old. Now, who's 37? Okay, according to police sources, the suspect is Felix Javier Hernandez, age 18. Last week, a 50-year-old woman was killed in Providence. Okay, so this is just, that's unrelated, right? This part. Detectives have been working since last night. We do have some leads. It seems like the man was working in the house and also knew the family at 223. So we're trying to put things together, and there's not much more I can do. And then it says he's 37 years old. He's a contractor. Well, who? I thought you said he was 18. What the hell are they talking about? You just said he was... No, but right here. Oh, he was a contractor too. Okay. Now let me think about this differently. I was thinking the contractor was the shooter. And he was working on a house, and maybe he had his eye on... Okay, now let's do this again. All right, so 18 is just the shooter. They're thinking. The Javier Hernandez, Felix Javier Hernandez, he's 18. He's the suspect in the shooting. But then this is what threw me off. Like, why did they put this in here? Last week, a 50-year-old woman was killed in Providence. Like, why was that there? Detectives have been working since last night. We do have some leads. Okay, so then it turns out I can give you that he's a 37-year-old, he's a contractor, and that's about all we can give you for now. It's the third homicide of the year. He was shot in the street. He was talking to an acquaintance, and the shots came from up the street. There were quite a few shots. On Tuesday, July 7th, Providence Police announced 14-year-old juvenile at 219 Progress Avenue has been missing since July 3rd. Huh. I mean, I guess that's possible. That's coincidental. How did they know? Here's the thing. How did they know who the suspect was? See, there's something else going on here. How would they have known who the shooter is if it was from way down the street and everything like that? So there must be some association that they already that already exists somehow. Hey, thanks, Kit Kat. Yeah, me too. I hate having to read them and then try to decipher it. I don't know what in the hell this sentence right here is put in there. It's unrelated to this. You know, it makes you think that, I don't know. Jesus. Hell, maybe this murder here was done by the same person or something. Shit. All right, well, let's keep an eye out on this one, see if we can get more information. Yeah, but how would the witness know who that was? If they don't, I guess they were saying maybe he lives just a couple blocks
Buying
down.
a round of Honey Crisp apples,
There's
winking
houses.
face, red apple, winking face, red apple, winking face.
Thanks, Kit Kat.
We're out here near 53rd and Montgomery with about 5 detectives in a K-9 unit for about an hour and a half. They went inside an apartment behind me and executed a search warrant. They came out a short time later. They didn't have any evidence in their hands. They had nothing at all. So for now, the search for Little King Hill continues.
No, not Red Delicious.
Detectives were on the scene near
Honeycrisp
53rd and
is the only
Montgomery
apple
tonight
that
in
exists.
Winfield. They had been looking for any clues related to missing 2-year-old King Hill. Sources tell us it's the home of a babysitter who at one point had the child. A neighbor who did not want to be identified claims the little boy looks familiar.
There was a party there not too long ago, and I seen that kid running around. I definitely seen that baby.
It's been an all-out search today for the toddler from Strawberry Mansion. Hill's mother tells NBC 10 she hasn't seen her son for weeks after leaving
Now,
him.
this kind of reminds me of that one story from, remember about, I don't know, 6 months ago, the girl, the boyfriend or whatever pretended that he was pulled over by 2 Hispanic guys, and then he was dropped off somewhere. And
Red Delicious.
And then later it turns out he's on surveillance carrying the body in a laundry hamper. You remember that one? So that's what this is reminding me of a little bit. I can't remember the name of that one.
Him with her ex-boyfriend, considered a trusted father figure. He normally spends time with the boy. Out search today for the toddler from Strawberry Mansion. Hill's mother tells NBC 10 she hasn't seen her son for weeks after leaving him with her ex-boyfriend, considered a trusted father figure. He normally spends time with the boy.
I think my daughter's father is trying to keep my son from me. I just feel that way. I don't feel no type of gut feeling that he's hurt or anything.
We're told the ex texted her earlier this week saying he left the toddler with a babysitter.
Oh, boy.
Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near 31st and Montgomery.
Somebody's not telling us the truth, yes.
What?
Just trying to keep my son from me. I just feel that way. I don't feel no type of gut feeling that he's hurt or anything.
We're told the ex texted her earlier this week saying he left the toddler with a babysitter. Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near 31st and Montgomery.
Somebody's not telling us the truth, yes. That's correct. Because the babysitter's saying she returned the child to the mother, and the mother's saying no, she did not.
Right now, police are trying to narrow down how long the boy's been away from his mother. They say it could be several weeks to 2 months. His family is begging for his safe return.
They were looking at me like I did something to them, but I would never do nothing to none of my kids.
Somebody's not telling us the truth.
Saying he left the toddler with a babysitter. Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near 31st and Montgomery.
Wow, so a babysitter saying she gave the baby back to the mom, who right here is on the news saying, hey, I didn't do anything.
Honeycrisp is my favorite red apple.
Well, yes. Well, it should be your favorite just apple, okay? It's like, why would you even eat another apple after you've eaten a Honeycrisp? It's like it's a waste of time. It's like, you know when you have that one favorite ice cream that you buy? Why try something else? Well, I mean, I guess it's possible you might learn of a new favorite in an ice cream, but it's been proven that the Honeycrisp is number one, all right? So that's interesting that the babysitter, unless I wonder if she's sort of part of this setup here, like trying to pin it all on the mom somehow.
Royal Gala.
We're told the ex texted her earlier this week saying he left the toddler with a babysitter. Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near 31st and Montgomery.
Somebody's not telling
And
us the
thank
truth.
you
Yes.
if the dead
That's
could
correct.
talk.
Because the babysitter's saying she returned the child.
Or anything.
We're told the ex texted her earlier this week saying he left the toddler with a babysitter. Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near 31st and
Wait, who
Montgomery.
said that?
Saying he left the toddler.
Hold on, I gotta get
Or
this.
anything.
We're told the ex texted her earlier this week
Okay.
saying he left the toddler with a babysitter. Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy
So they
off with
talked
his
to-
mother near 30.
Investigators actually talked to the babysitter.
31st in Montgomery.
Somebody's not telling us the truth. Yes, that's correct.
What's the child's name? King something. Oh, no. Oh, King Hill. Okay, that name, I was like, King Hill, it sounded like a place. Just a second. All right, now they're just about to say...
Truth, yes, that's correct. Because the babysitter's saying she returned the child to the mother, and the mother's saying no, she did not.
Right now, police are trying to narrow down how long the boy's been away from his mother. They say it could be several weeks to 2 months. His family is begging for his safe return.
They were looking at me like...
See, she hadn't even seen him in over a month.
I did something.
That's not really the, you know, come on.
I would never do nothing to none of my kids.
The boy off with his mother near 31st in Montgomery.
Okay, 31st in Montgomery. Let's get that.
That the report gave as suggestions and recommendations.
Somebody's not telling.
That babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near 31st in Montgomery.
I'm just trying to see what that looks like. What the hell is that? Jesus.
Montgomery.
Yeah, well, somewhere around here. I'm just going to put a pin. That's where she claims she dropped it. That must be where the mom lives then or something. That's where she claims. All right, I'll just play. I'll play it out now.
The truth. Yes, that's correct. Because the babysitter's saying she returned the child to the mother, and the mother's saying no, she did not.
Right now, police are trying to narrow down how long the boy's been away from his mother. They say it could be several weeks to 2 months. His family is begging for his safe return.
They were looking at me like I did something to them. I would never do nothing to none of my kids.
Well, according to police, everyone right now is talking and cooperating with the investigation, but of course, still no sign of King Hill. For now, we are live in Winfield. Aaron Baskerville.
That's crazy. Let me see if this has any other information. Hill said she became alarmed earlier this week when the stepfather texted to say he had dropped off King with a babysitter. Hill said she doesn't know the babysitter well. The babysitter reportedly said she had dropped off King with her. but Hill never saw her son. See, that's a little bit scary. I mean, what if, I mean, there's a whole different things. Like, what if, you know, the boyfriend, maybe he's actually, he was a father figure, you know, but maybe he's in a relationship with the babysitter, or the babysitter's just her own nefarious actor and did something. I don't know, I sort of believe the mom a little bit, even though she seems like an irresponsible mother, you know, like letting somebody else take care of your kid for 6 weeks. She seemed genuine to me, the way she sounded right there. Okay, so I don't know. I don't believe the when you say crocodile tears. I think she sounded normal. You know, it's everybody who wants to see something like that always says that. Oh God, look how fake that is, because I'm a super sleuth. I watched this Chris Watts case and I called that right from the beginning. Right? I think she seemed pretty authentic right there. It seems more likely that something else happened. Why? I mean, why would, you know? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, well, not everybody actually has tears running down their eyes when they're upset like that. Believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, I think she's irresponsible. Parent, for sure. Yeah, who cares what Isabella said? I saw what she said. I don't care, you know? God, what a weird comment. See, somebody else said she didn't have any tears. What tears? Oh, we are such big super sleuths. Yeah, well, I wasn't talking to you, VP. You can go do your own thing. I'm doing this. I don't think it was crocodile tears at all. And yes, there's a lot of people out there that think they're really sleuthy, and because they have kids, they can understand how somebody else... And you're just wrong 95% of the time, okay? Now, the times that you're right, you think you were such geniuses that you'll tell everybody, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, I can figure it out, I can figure... Okay, I don't know what's going on here. She could be totally full of crap. But if you look at it, she looked like she was upset there. It doesn't look fake or anything. I think it's probably, you know, it's going to be something to do with the boyfriend or babysitter. I think it was irresponsible to let somebody else take care, because he's a father figure, take care of your own child for that long. All right? Yeah, okay, let's do it again.
BBC 10 News. For now, the search came out a short time. Detectives were on the scene near 53rd and Montgomery tonight.
Oh my God, that guy's laughing over there. How dare he laugh?
Any clues
he must be part of
related
it.
to missing 2-year-old King Hill. Sources tell us it's the home of a babysitter who
Did you see the detective laughing? He must have something to do with it.
A neighbor who did not want to be identified claims the little boy looks familiar.
There was a party there not too long ago, and I seen that kid running around.
Yeah, I think you are,
VP.
I do.
It's been an all-out search today for the
Almost
toddler
everybody
from
who
Strawberry
thinks they're
Mansion.
so
Hill's mother
on
tells
it, they're
NBC
wrong.
10 she hasn't seen her son for weeks after leaving him with her ex-boyfriend, considered a trusted father figure. He normally spends him with her ex-boyfriend, considered a trusted father figure. He normally spends time with the boy.
I think my daughter's father is just trying to keep my son from me. I just feel that way. I don't feel no type of gut feeling that he's hurt or anything.
We're told the ex texted her earlier this week saying he left the toddler with a babysitter. Investigators say that babysitter told them she dropped the boy off with his mother near...
Yeah, no, I think it's cool that you guys all can have your opinion that they're crocodile tears, but I want you guys to jump in here and say, wow, I was totally wrong, if it turns out to be the other way around. Because I'll say, oh, wow, she fooled me, okay? Because I want to make sure that all the people that are over here blaming this mom right now, saying that they have crocodile tears and everything like that, I want you to come back in and say, wow, man, I'm really not that good at it. At the noticing body language all the time. All right. Yes, keep it 100. That's exactly what I always do. Now, I'm referring to something that I see all the time in here, keep it 100. I see it all the time. People think that they have it nailed down. You remember that one case where the baby was missing and then Shane, the father of the kid, everybody out there, everybody said, oh, Shane has something to do with it. Look at him, look at him. Oh my God, look at the way he's in this interview. You know what we said on this channel? Look how shitty that interview was by the reporters, putting him into that crazy situation. That's what we said here. All right? So, yeah, I don't care if... I mean, people disagree with me all the time in here. I'm just saying, how do you guys know right now, based on watching her right there, that she has something to do with it? Seriously. That's all I'm saying. So if it turns out, and if it turns out she did do it, I'll say, wow, I was totally fooled there. But I try to avoid even putting stuff like that out there right off the bat. It feels like I'm always having to defend people because people in the chat are always like, oh, look at that, 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 look at that. Yeah. Yeah, we all disagree in here all the time. Yeah. It's just you get these idiots that show up and they hear a couple things and, oh, see, every single time you don't agree. You know. And yeah, sure I was being a smartass with VP. I'm always a smartass with her. Who gives a shit? I mean, what difference does it make? If she's right, I'll give her credit for it. Yeah, maybe Philip. You just never know, Philip. And I do know stuff. She could have very well have done it. Hey, you guys can let idiots like Philip stay in the chat. You don't have to put them on timeout, shit like that. Yeah, I'm definitely a smartass sometimes. I'll tell you that right now. I never said I wasn't. I don't have any ill will except for the idiots like that person up above, and you know, that's just the way it is.
Gosh, Greg, can you ever just do a show where you're not going after your subs?
Well, how do I know who these troll subs are? Hey, how about this? If you're a troll, don't sub to my channel. How about that? Okay, I don't know who you are. The people that always make these idiotic comments are people I've never seen before. Okay? Now, I was just flipping VP shit because, you know, she's always... I wasn't even referring to her comment originally. Somebody else made the exact same comment. But she obviously thought I was talking to her, so that I had to jump right back in there.
Look it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know what she was doing. I don't know. But let's just keep playing.
31st in Montgomery.
Somebody's not telling us the truth. Yes, that's correct. Because the babysitter's saying she returned the child to the mother, and the mother's saying no, she did not.
Right now, police are trying to...
And so maybe the babysitter and the boyfriend are with each other, and something happened to the child, and so then he claims, oh yeah, that's my babysitter, and then she says, no, I gave the child back, and that's a way to get it off of them and onto the mom. What do you think of that theory?
Mean jail, maybe.
Okay. Oh boy, somebody just threw me into jail. Thanks a lot. I mean, I'm just saying, that's what makes more sense to me than, oh yeah, the kid was dropped off with the mom and she did something to the baby. Now she's claiming that this babysitter, you know, because that was a true story, that she heard that the kid was with the babysitter. So that all that stuff happened. That there's a father, or, you know, the fatherly figure, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend apparently, who then let some other person some random person take care of this child. But how do we even know how he knows her? Maybe they're actually dating. And he claims she was the babysitter to sort of get the heat off of him. Yeah, just there's a lot of different things going on here. Oh, well, thank you. well, thanks, Allison R, Mag, and Carla Cross. And screw you, trolls, you idiots. Oh, and If the Dead Could Talk. I think it lost the music sound, but Mag said, "Oh my, here we go again." Carla Cross, jail bail. If the Dead Could Talk, too many psychics. Yep. Yeah, could be. You guys didn't block VP or anything, did you? If you did, go up and make sure she's not blocked. I don't have any ill will or anything. I just think I wasn't even talking to her. She thought I was talking to her, and then I did start talking to her because she assumed I was talking to her.
Bail for Gray. You are right most of the time.
Come on, VP. He's not saying, come on. He's just being sarcastic. Jesus, you guys. Thank you, Carolina T. I guess I'll be getting bailed out of money next week, too.
Smart as hash is better than dumb as hash, rolling on the floor laughing.
And you, Tish RN. See, she's got the freak heart mug in her hand right there. In the picture. Okay, good.
Too many psychics rolling
hey, VP,
on the
that's
floor
just our
laughing.
relationship, okay? Now, VP, I'll tell you what, VP, here's what I'll do, okay? Here's what I'll do, VP. If it turns out that the mom, okay?
All this jail time you be getting Gray tears of joy. Your rap sheet must be long, but who cares? Well,
Yeah.
let you out until you commit a bigger crime. Tears of joy rolling on the floor laughing.
All right, Miscus. Yes, my rap sheet apparently on this show is huge. But here's what we'll do, VP. If it turns out that the mother did it, I'll send you a, let's see, a Skippy and dumbbell mug, okay? Because that's a generic mug. That's the one with Lori dumbbell with the clown face and Skippy on the back with his upside down face, all right? So there you go. That sound like a good deal if you're right? Yeah, you like it though. That's my most popular mug. Everybody has that one, all right? So if it turns out to be her, now what do I get in return if it's not the mom? She'll send me to jail. That's what it's going to be. VP's going to send me to jail. She's going to go... Okay. Let's just see the mom some more here. Nothing.
Narrow down how long the boy's been away from his mother. They say it could be several weeks to 2 months. His family is begging for his safe return.
They were looking at me like I did something to them. I would never do nothing to none of my kids.
Yeah, so... I'm not... Okay. Oh, wow. We got some real money on this one. Okay. Well, you'll probably win out on the... Well, it's about the same when I ship something like that, yeah. Mag always sends me the skeleton key when I'm in jail. She's like the I'm not sure what to say there. Like always supports the channel though. Thank you very much. All of you guys do. It's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't see her as being totally fake and did it. I don't even. To me, it just looks like she's upset. You know, some people don't have tears coming out of their eyes when they get upset like that. Yeah, hopefully. Well, the thing is it's looking kind of ominous for him, no matter how you look at it, because why would, you know? So it's either her, the mom, after the kid was given back to her, or he's just missing somewhere, because why would the father and quote babysitter be doing that? I mean, what would be the point of all this? So there's something something's not good here. Okay. And believe it or not, I got more to go here. I got more to go. And this guy here, that's like a birthmark on his face. So don't start thinking, oh my God, what happened? You know, it's just a birthmark there. So Richard, this is in BBC. Richard Morris, mystery jogger, is missing. He's a diplomat. Richard Morris, 52, was last seen running in Alton, Hampshire on May 6th at 10:50. The unknown man is seen jogging on London Road at the junction with Lower Neatham Mill Lane towards Bestead at about 12:30. So people are looking for this guy right here that's jogging. Because I don't know if they think he's the killer. I mean, that guy doesn't, I don't know. Doesn't really look like one, but Mr. Morris was a father of 3 and UK ambassador to Nepal for 4 years until 2019. He was recently appointed British High Commissioner to Fiji. Officers have searched more than 9 square kilometers since Mr. Morris disappeared, including at Alice Holt Forest and the River Way. Let's see where that is. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's Alice Holt Forest. So he's jogging around there somewhere. This is in the UK. Let's see, Mr. Morris, who was originally from Worcestershire, was last seen by a member of the public on Islington Road near his home in Bentley. He is white with a beard and graying hair and has a birthmark on his face. He was wearing a blue top, black shorts, and blue trainer. In a previous statement, the Foreign Office described him as a much valued and well-liked colleague. But what about him, though? So he was seen running in Alton, let's see, Alton, Hampshire. Let's see where that is. It's probably right near here. Well, why are you looking over there then? So he was running in this town here. So he was just seen running, and then they want to know who this guy is. And he was running at 10:50, and then at 12:30 this guy is running. So let's see, London Road from Alton towards... Okay, let's get this figured out. Okay. And then okay, jogging on London Road at the okay. The unknown man is seen jogging on London Road at the junction with Lower. Okay, let's try to find these. London Road. Wow. Let me just put a pin there. That doesn't seem like it's anywhere near. But maybe it continues around to some other location. And Neatham Mill Lane. Okay, well, it's way over here. No, that's upper. How about lower? Okay, well, there's that. Oh, well, where was the other one? Hold on, let me get the other one. London Road. No, it's right next to each other, right there. And that's Lower Neatham Mill Lane. Okay. And then this is the other road coming in. Oh, I had to sneeze there. Hold on. So I think it's right there. Jogger. And let's see if there's street view right there. Oh, by golly, there is. That's not even a road, is it? Wow. What the hell was Google Earth doing on that one? Thanks, Tish, RM, all of you guys. Sarita. I'm going to just see if this looks like that spot where he's... Oh, yeah. Ah, there it is. I think. Maybe not. Jeez, look really close. I think he's almost, you can almost see, like in this picture, right there, I'm trying to figure out that spot. They said the junction with Lower Neatham Mill Lane towards Binstead. Okay, so he was definitely running like that. Man, where would there be a camera there? I mean, that's... Man, I remember driving around when I was in Ireland. It's just like this. Really ludicrously narrow roads. Insane, right? I think I already found the spot there. I think it was... I don't think it's on this thing, but look how crazy this little road is. Like, what the hell is this? How did the Google Earth car... What if another car was coming at you, right? Well, this is June 2019 here. And then right here it switches to 2016. The thing is, I don't see that solid, well, there's that one, but see the solid the line right there? That solid paint? I don't see that. Right in this area. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot though. So this is Lower Neatham Mill Lane, and this is London Road. Yeah, that's the junction of it. Seen jogging on London Road at the junction with Lower Neatham Mill Lane Road. See, originally I thought it was like right here, like this. And it still could be that. And so you look at that and you see that higher bush there, and then, you know, like right there, and that makes, there's a solid line right there too. So I think it very well could be here, but I also don't see this hedge there, so it's almost like the camera it's filming, and that was done with a dash cam. Yeah, it's so narrow. Oh, there we go. I think this is it. Right there. Okay, boom. Alright, come on. Boom, 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 boom. Everything works there. The white line stops, curves to the left. There is also that and that. So boom, that's it. Okay, there we go. So I think it wasn't CCTV. I think it was on a vehicle driving, because it seems like a lot of people over there actually have the dashboard cameras over there. So it wasn't really at the junction. It was around the corner there. So, and then they think he was jogging in Alt. Let's see where they think he was jogging again. Seen running in Alton, Hampshire, but where? Let's look him up again and see if there's a better article, like Daily Mail. I know they're kind of 90%, but okay. The police have reportedly been assisted in their search by Hampshire's search and rescue dog. On Monday, Hampshire police said, "We are now asking this is in May though. Mr. Morris entered the Foreign and Commonwealth Office via an open competition in 1990. Missing person appeal was launched." Yeah, I'm not sure what that map's trying to... Okay. Richard is described as being white, around 6 foot tall. He was last seen wearing a blue long sleeve top with a half zip black shorts and blue trainer. If you've seen him or think you may have seen him since 10:30 on Wednesday, please call us at 101. What are they laughing out loud? I can't believe it. Before his posting to Nepal, he was head of Pacific Department of Foreign. Yeah, I don't know, stuff like that. It's just you try to build a conspiracy theory because he had a position. It could have something to do with it, but at this point, everybody should be focusing on trying to find him. That was May 11th. And there's one on May. Oh no, not that one. Hunt continues. So maybe there's more info in this one. The last confirmed sighting of Richard Morris, 52, was at 10:50 on Wednesday, May 6th, in Islington Road. Okay, now we have a little bit more information. Let's see where that is compared to this other jogger. I mean, I think that's just a stretch, though. It's like, what would make you think that there's a lot of people jogging, right? I mean, So now look at where he's jogging, way over here at this point. So there's Alton, but he was way over here jogging on Insington Road. Does it go over this direction? Yeah, it's actually over here too. So, you know, look at that guy's oh, that's interesting. Okay, so he's jogging on Insington Road, except he's jogging there before this guy was here, but this guy is heading, I think it was, the way we had it was he was heading in this direction like this, right? To Binstead. There, yeah. So what's weird is he was going to be running on this road right here, that direction, but then Islington Road runs right into it, right here at this intersection. But this guy was running here an hour after, you know, almost 2 hours after he was running here. So I'm not sure what that means, but... Okay. Well, I don't have any more information on that one, but... Well, it's hard to know what the jogger did because he was there 2 hours after, but... You know, they're pretty good over there. You know, when they come up with suspects, they're pretty good at it, but I don't know. He was jogging there at 12:50, and then... He would have merged with them way earlier than that. I don't know, it just doesn't seem that great. They just probably want to ask him a few questions. Okay, so we'll follow that one. And then search launched for missing 10-year-old boy in North Cascades Wilderness. Hey, another kid missing up. What is it called up here? Like missing 411 or something like that?
There's work to do.
Help save.
Good. Let's see. Searchers are combing a rugged area along the Skagit River for a 10-year-old boy who has been missing since Thursday, Sheriff's Office said. Skagit County Undersheriff Chad Clark says the boy and his father had been camping and kayaking in North Cascades National Park. As they were kayaking on the Skagit River, the father got dumped out of the kayak in some rapids, but the boy continued down the river. The father made it back to shore and began searching, but couldn't find his son. The father then hiked all Tuesday and Wednesday morning to a place where he could get help. Wow.
From the mountains to the beach, what a world.
Sounds like they're going to be singing On the Road Again.
A 10-year-old boy who was last seen kayaking with his dad along the Skagit River.
Today, crews found the boy's life jacket along the banks, but still no sign of the young boy. KOMO's Patrick Quinn spoke with crews on the ground. He has the latest on the desperate search for Sage Adams.
10-year-old Sage Adams
still
missing. Last seen kayaking with his dad 2 days ago along the Skagit River.
They both had life jackets on, and they were in kayaks, and they're floating down the river.
The boy's father told officials around 6 o'clock on Tuesday, east of Marble Mountain, the North Cascades National Park. That's when he, the dad, said he fell out of his own kayak but was able to swim ashore, where he last saw his son still paddling on the Skagit River. As of today, crews have now found the boy's kayak and life jacket.
They did locate the child's life jacket, and the life jacket was on the opposite.
So maybe the kid went to the other side, and took his life jacket off, and then he tried to get out of there, but he's lost in the woods somewhere.
Bank of where we located the kayak yesterday.
Under Sheriff Chad Clark of the Skagit County Sheriff's Office told me there are now 50 people actively searching for Sage. This time of year, Clark said the water is cold and swift. Boats, drones, 6 K9 crews.
I mean, didn't I say
are now on
Skagit?
scene.
We're still concentrating efforts in the wooded area above the kayak, and now we're concentrating more efforts onto the river itself.
The Sheriff's Office said Seattle City Light is also lowering the water level at the Gorge Dam to help with the search effort.
Well, if he had his life jacket on, he must have taken it off
they're now on
intentionally.
Scene. But officials at this point are asking the public to stay out of the area, adding it could in fact complicate the search.
We understand. Everybody's heart's in the right spot. We get that. But it really makes it tougher for us.
Boy, we'll keep.
Wow,
Controversy
man.
is developing over segregated.
I mean, you talk about wooded area. Man, that is just thick right there. Oh, I don't watch other YouTube channels. I just do my own show. I don't want to get any thoughts or any sort of opinions at all from other YouTubers. I just want to have my own. You see. So I don't watch other channels. Hope you guys don't mind. Let's see, Marble Mount. Yeah. The only time I watch YouTube channels are for fishing, basketball, women's track and field. Yeah, so here's the Skagit River. See, it's really surrounded by a whole bunch of different forests right here. See that? Yeah, I watch him every once in a while. I haven't seen even Agenda, but I don't watch Agenda Free T for true crime at all. In fact, if he's talking about crime, I turn the channel. I don't even really... he's just a news guy for me. Yeah. So whenever you watch my show, my opinions are my opinions from looking at it. You know, and sometimes I'm reading the chat and thinking about things, and sometimes, you know, I put stuff together, you know, based on maybe every once in a while somebody makes a comment, I go, oh yeah, that's interesting. Oh, how about this? Right? Oh, cool. Trish RN. Pole vault's something that I always thought would have been fun to try to be able to do. I mean, every once in a while I'll watch John Lorden if it's something that I've covered or something. And then I'll, you know, just to be like, oh yeah, cool, you know. But... yeah. Well, no problem. Juju positive. She has positive juju. Juju positive does. No, I don't watch her at all. Yeah. Well, thanks, Zozo. Wow. I'm the air in your lungs? Wow.
Air in my lungs, Bear Hughes.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does coronavirus all the time because it became a huge story, but you know, if there is other big things, he'll cover it. But man, he really is just focused in on the coronavirus. I mean, that really is kind of the biggest story that there is. But it's like, you know what's hilarious, everybody? I remember early on, he was on his show, and he goes, 400 new cases? 400 new... God, he was like freaking out on the show, and I was thinking, man, dude, there are so many people that have the virus already. I mean, he was talking about New York. He was freaking out that 400 new cases. And then by the time, like 2 months after that, there would be, 10,000 a day or something. It was just crazy. But I knew early on, just based on how some people got the virus, they said, yeah, I didn't even travel. I wasn't even anywhere. I don't know how I got it. I knew that at that moment there were tons and tons of people who had the virus already, and they were just spreading it around, and they didn't know they had it. And that's exactly what's going on now. See, the thing is right now, we're testing way more than everybody else. Therefore, our numbers go way up in terms of who has it. If they tested everybody in the UK, you'd have a similar percentage of people who have the virus. The thing that's interesting about it is there's the vast majority of people who get it seem to be, well, I don't know if, I don't know scientifically about what I'm about to say, but it seems like a lot of the people who get it are asymptomatic, and then a lot of people get it and it's just a really mild thing. I mean, they barely even notice any symptoms. And then there's this small, I mean, it turns out to be a large number of people, but percentage-wise it's small. Number of people who actually, it's so bad they have to go to the hospital with it. But it's a small percentage of the overall people who have the virus. Unfortunately, we have we're getting better, we have poor treatments, we have no vaccine at this point. And I guess even with the flu virus vaccine, it's like 70 to 80% effective, and that's enough to stave off a huge pandemic. I know exactly what you're saying, Buckle Bunny. He sort of got pigeonholed in there. He'll probably forget how to do it after that's over. To get back to the, I remember I first saw him when he was on the other channel. I think it was called, the hell, I can't even remember now. Right Side Broadcasting, I think. But he was covering the Las Vegas shooting. That's when I first saw him, and it was awesome. And he had like live footage going on, gunfire everywhere. And then he branched out on his own. Yeah, and listen, everybody. Anytime somebody says I ran the 880, you know they're a little older, because that's what I would have been saying. Because we didn't. I think right at the end of high school they started switching things over to like the 1500, 800. But before that it was 880, 440. Then it became 400 meters. You ran the 101? So you kept running it? Most people just stop on a dime after they run 100. 74 through 77. Well, I don't know how old you were there, but I was running track at that age too. For Portland Track Club. You're still running right now? Wow. Alifair ran when she was being chased. You're still on hold. Wow, that's a long hold. Long hold. Okay, what were we just talking about? We had a different case up, I know. Oh yeah, this guy. Okay, now we're moving to Suzanne Morphew. They went back out to the house today for some more searching, and I think immediately when that happens, you sort of think, okay, they haven't cleared the husband yet. 2 months after the disappearance of Suzanne Morphew, local, state, and federal investigators searched the Morphew property west of Salida once again. On Thursday, investigators said they can't rule anyone out as a suspect. This case remains very active as more than a dozen investigators are aggressively working this case on a daily basis. And until we determine what happened to Suzanne, we can't discount any scenario or formally eliminate anyone from suspicion. But how come they can't eliminate Barry? See, that makes him more interesting to me, because apparently he said he was out of town and everything. So why can't they eliminate him? I mean, he's always been somebody who was interesting. I've always thought he was interesting because he immediately put up a $100,000 reward. I thought that was really excessive that quick. Seemed like it was compensating for something there, but I don't know. He might not have had anything to do with it at all. It just seemed odd at the time. Morphew, who was reported missing on Mother's Day, May 10th, after leaving her home in Maysville to go for a bike ride. In May, the sheriff's office, the FBI, and CBI conducted a 3-day search at the residential construction site east of Salida. The property owner told CBS 4 Rick Salinger that Suzanne's husband Barry laid the dirt at the riverfront property. Officials with the sheriff's office said they did not make any connection to Suzanne's case. They just found a whole nother set of bones that I'm just kidding. Family members say Barry Morphew was out of town in Denver when his wife disappeared on May 17th. Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back, said Barry. We love you. We miss you. The girls need you. No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back, honey. I love you. I want you back so bad. Investigators say more than 600 tips have been called into designated tip line, and many searches have been performed throughout the county. The public is asked to continue to report any information about this case by calling 719-312-7530. That's 719-312-7530. Again, that's 719-312-7530. Back to you, Jim. So, they're still searching for her. They haven't quite found her yet. And this is their official announcement that came out. It has been 2 months since Suzanne Morphew was reported missing in Chaffee County. In that time, investigators have followed up on hundreds of tips and conducted a number of searches in an effort to locate Miss Morphew, who was reported missing on Mother's Day, May 10th, 2020. In addition to countless interviews conducted in the last month, more than 600 tips have been called in to a designated tip line, and many searches have been performed throughout the county. Am I starting to sound more like a news broadcaster? I'm working on it. On July 9th, 2020, local, state, and federal investigators returned to search the Morphew property west of Salida to once again search the area for any additional information related to Miss Morphew's disappearance. This case remains very active as more than a dozen investigators are aggressively working this case on a daily basis, said Sheriff County Sheriff, I can't read it that fast. Chaffee County Sheriff John Spezzi. Okay. And until we determine what happened to Suzanne, we can't discount any scenario or formally eliminate anyone from suspicion. The public is asked to continue to report any information about this case by calling 719-312-7530. Back to you, Jim.
Gosh, Gray, you're so mean. I mean, there's a missing person out there and you're making fun of it.
Well, I didn't think he was doing that. I was thinking he was making fun of all the different reports out there, trying to sound like a reporter.
Oh, okay, good point.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Mag. Yeah, I mean, it was out in the middle of nowhere. There was like 3 or 4 homes right there. Apparently her bike was found right there. So what they have is, this is where they lived, right here. In this home. And then she went biking, but you know, you can see that there's another nice house there. A house there. Another, you know, there's a bunch of homes right around in there. It's not like it's, you know, nobody around at all. But apparently her bike was found right in this area. So she went biking, and then she was going to head out to the highway here. And then all of a sudden, she's just gone. No, we don't know. That's what I was saying. I don't think there's any proof that she even went on a bike ride. There's a bike there. And they found, you know, I mean, I guess that's what they found. I mean, that could easily have been staged and put there. And the reason it's there, see, here's the thing. If I was somebody, you know, that lived in the area that was, I wouldn't hide the bike, you know, dump the bike on the highway here, because I'd be nervous somebody would be driving on the highway and see me with the bike. So you just put the bike there and sort of associate it. Oh, okay, could have tumbled down the hill. But nobody is going to see anybody right there. Right? See, look, you're driving by here. You can't see that little road that's right down there. Oh, that's just a coincidence, Sarita, right? I mean... Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go, everybody. I'm out of stories, and now we're at 3 hours and 10 minutes. So I think I'm just about done here. And nobody type in, no! Okay. Oh, great. Believe me, we weren't going this time. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's weird how jerky it's become. Let me try something here. Launch repair tool. And then I'm gonna close this down. Clear disk cache. Switch between there. Oh, okay. You guys are hilarious. No! It's funny how people don't really get it. They think like we're this. I'm just so mean.
Gray, you're so mean. Oh, God, anytime I come on your channel. Every time I go on, you're always cutting down one of your subs.
Yeah, well, that's not really happening. I think you're delusional. Okay? Delusional. Oh, man. Poor Mary Lou. My God. Poor Mary Lou. Yeah. Yeah, that was a long... We went over a ton of stuff tonight, didn't we? Man. Pretty interesting cases going on out there. It was no joke, the title. There was even more stories than my title had in it. Couldn't fit them in. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't really consider myself mean or anything like that. I just sometimes I see stuff because here's the thing. What I don't like is when we're, you know, you see somebody talking and then you start judging them as if you're like a forensic body language expert or something. I can't stand it, actually. And because people are wrong so often, it's unbelievable. Oh, did you hear that? He said was. Oh, he said was. That means he's aware that they're not alive. No, it actually doesn't mean that at all. I've seen people actually say that many times. And they're not even... Then they're found. That's just how people talk. Thank you, Juju Positive. And sometimes, you know, people get it right, but it's just not often enough where you start going, wow, that really does mean something. Hey, look at that. There's, what's his name? Blue's, what's going on there, Blue? Oh boy, Blue. Caught you at the wrong time there. Caught you at the wrong time. Blue, you naughty little guy, you. Okay. So thank you to Andrea Ruggiero Drum, Rochelle Black, Katie, Alifair M, Darrell Greggs, and Alifair, the big cat eye donation there. Darrell Greggs, C. Dorton, Katie, Christy Cunningham became a member, Kevin Brown, then Zozo with the cat eye donation. Thank you. And Andrea Ruggiero Drum again. And then Half Rudder, Michelle Nicholas, Amy Higg, Linda Howe, as in Linda Moldenhow of the cattle mutilations. Sherlock Hemlock. Jana Fan, If the Dead Could Talk. Incognito Society there. Kim F. Sharp Harp, Zozo, Kit Kat, Zozo, If the Dead Could Talk, Sarita. Carla Cross, Kit Kat, Allison R, Mag, Carla Cross, If the Dead Could Talk, Tish R.N., Carolina T, Miss Skiss, and then Zozo again with another cat eye one. Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Juju Positive, Sarita, and then Jenny Penny. I'm so sassy. There we go. That's funny. Dun, 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 dun. And Sarita again.
Gray Hughes is so sassy.
I'm like, so sassy? Hey, it's running smoother. See that? Correct. Thank you, Audio Caspian Horses Raw. Yeah, what's up? Vector 7-9. Oh, they're coming right up! Well, listen, everybody, thank you very much for that generous, crazy donation night. Because now, you know, that keeps us on the track for another big month at the end of the month. You know, last month was, you know, I put a little extra in of my own to make it such a big number because I wanted to get it over the $8,000 mark. Plus, I got the big PayPal donations that came in. But a normal amount is like, you know, if we can keep going over 1,500 at the end of each month, that would be a normal amount. But we'll see where we're at the end of the month, you know. I'd like to do more. But it's awesome. Appreciate all the support there. And yeah. So again, everybody, make sure that you are still washing your hands with hand sanitizer. You know, wear a mask anytime you go out and you're in a place where there's other people. You know, if you go to a park, you know, you're walking around by yourself, you probably don't need one on. But definitely wear one when you're around people and, you know, maintain your social distancing. So we can slow this sucker down until we get the damn... I mean, I cannot wait. As soon as there's a vaccine, I'm going to run to the store. Or, you know, the pharmacy and get one. Okay, I hope everybody does that. Man, I'll feel like... as soon as you get one of those, you feel like you got kryptonite or something. I hope it doesn't have to be one that you take every year, though. How shitty would that be? I'd rather just try to... I mean, it'd be great if everybody took the vaccine and then each year that it came back, we try to... I don't know if there's ever a way that you can literally get rid of it with all the traveling that goes around. It's just, boy. Virus unleashed on society. It would be great if you could just do a one-timer, though, right? All right, everybody. Well, that is it for the show tonight. Thank you for everybody for showing up and supporting the channel by watching, subscribing, becoming a channel member, donating. I mean, you know, some of those donations tonight were great. I really appreciate it. Well, all the donations were great, but there was, you know, a couple big ones in there that made it a special type of a night. So thank you guys very much. And as I always say, everybody, until next time. Oh, look, I got my hat this time. So now I can... Until next time, everybody, be safe out there. Seriously. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
Wait, that's the zombie Lori. That's the zombie Lori.
That is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector, zombie Lori. Gregory's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, ya, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, John Boy?
What?
I learned a commercial. Watch this one. BIR, Portland International Raceway, with the biggest sign since the Pinewood Drag. We have Rod Labour, a retired astronaut with his hydroelectric car. It's guaranteed to rip up.
Would you shut the hell up? What in the hell were you just doing right there? What we do at the end of the show is just say good night, right? Okay?
Oh, you're so mean. I've been working on that one for a long time.
Well, don't cry. Gosh. Okay. Good night, Mary Lou. Jeez.
Good night, John Boy. You are so mean.
Man, those guys just got on a weird... had a weird moment right there. Poor Mary Lou and John Boy. Wow. Anyways, hey everybody. Be safe out there.